Hey, it's Elias. On Monday, January 11th, 2021, the University of California announced it would be returning to in-person instruction as early as fall of 2021. This would include the 10 campuses that comprise the UC system across California, located in Berkeley, Davis, Irvine, Los Angeles, Merced, Riverside, San Diego, San Francisco, Santa Barbara, and Santa Cruz. This information came to us through an email from the UC Office of the President in a letter where they explained that this is a premature announcement and will require some flexibility as we see what happens in the near future with the pandemic. As the letter states, the University of California announced today that it is planning for a return to primarily in-person instruction system-wide starting fall of 2021. Enabling prospective and current students as well as their families to understand our goal well in advance amid the uncertainties of the pandemic. With robust research advancements and COVID-19 vaccines soon becoming available to students, staff, and faculty, UC is preparing to welcome students back to all its campuses this fall, while remaining vigilant in all critical prevention efforts and continuing to prioritize the health and well-being of the university community. As the university continues to monitor the evolution of the pandemic, we are also carefully planning a safe return to in-person classes, said President Michael V. Drake, who made the decision in consultation with the 10 UC chancellors. Current forecasts give us hope that in the fall, our students can enjoy a more normal on-campus experience. In spite of dynamic conditions, the university understands the importance of communicating its plans as early as possible, as it stays flexible and nimble and to ensure students and their families have the latest information for decisions on enrollment, housing, and other aspects of university life. Specific plans for resumption of fall classes, including additional safety measures and starting dates, will be announced by individual UC campuses as they continue to coordinate closely with local public health agencies and follow all local and state health guidelines. For any questions, contact University of California Office of the President Media Relations. And if you do have any questions, I will definitely link their information in the description so you can go ahead and ask them for yourself. For anyone that doesn't know, I am a student at the University of California, Riverside. I'm first generation. I'm the first in my family to even have a chance at graduating from a four-year university. I received this email just after receiving about 2 or 3 emails explaining that people that live in my on-campus apartment may have tested positive for COVID-19. And this was 2 different occasions. And just following the email of this announcement, IT support is having to leave campus because of the danger COVID-19 has put them in. Needless to say, the cases aren't getting better. Conditions in Riverside, at least Riverside, I know in other places it's not much better, especially in California. I have to question the motivation behind making this announcement so soon. Now, as they stated, it is going to take whatever happens in the next 10 months before the fall quarter will begin, and any advances that happen, hopefully vaccines can be distributed. Let's talk about who has access to getting the vaccination. These UC schools pride themselves on diversity. And when I say that, I mean marginalized students, those who are in the minority here on campus. When I say that, I'm talking about female students. I'm talking about students of color. I'm talking about Latin Americans, Asian Americans, Black Americans, African Americans. I'm talking about Native and Indigenous students. I'm talking about students who identify as lesbian, students who identify as gay, students who identify as bisexual, transgender, and everywhere in between. I'm talking about students who have mental and physical or intellectual disabilities. I'm talking about first generation students. I'm talking about low income students. I'm talking about students who have people who are immunocompromised in their family, people who are essential workers right now that are clocking in at work and having to interact with people who they don't even want to And we can talk about how the essential workers are doing the labor, sanitizing door handles, sanitizing the ATM machines and the card machines so that you all can continue to go shopping and not stay home, do anything but stay home. But those are the exact people that are reluctant to take the vaccines for very legitimate reasons. We have to see how distribution of vaccines are going to go. If these communities are able to get access to a vaccine, then maybe there's hope. Maybe, just maybe, by fall 2021, we'll be able to all come back to campus. Cases are going to go up, for sure. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, vaccine or not, cases are going to go up. Like, I don't know. I think that's just pretty much a given. I would think that's a given, but clearly the 10 chancellors of University of California don't think that that's a given. These chancellors, first of all, we don't know who they are. I don't know who they are. I know the chancellor of my school is Kim A. Wilcox, who don't know the guy, never seen him, never met him, never going to. Since March of 2020, most of the campuses have had to close majority of their in-person classes, as well as limiting who can stay in the residence halls as well as the campus apartments. I was just having a conversation how I was like, yeah, I've already accepted the idea that we probably won't be going to campus fully again the way it was my first year until after I graduate. Like, once I'm out, maybe by then, like, they'll be able to start bringing in people. And I was like, yeah, I've completely accepted that already, that it's done. Like, I'm probably not going to get a normal undergrad experience. I don't think moving in person as early as fall 2021 is going to be at all good for the student body. But this brings me back to where I question the motivation of the chancellors and the institution at large for making this decision. Now, maybe I'm cynical, which I know I am, but I think it's reasonable to assume that the institution doesn't have the students' well-being or best interest in mind when making this decision. They understand that we're sick of being in the house. We're sick of doing classwork on Zoom. We're sick of breakout rooms. We're sick of discussion posts and online classes in general. Like, and even outside of school, we're just pent up from being in the house for the last 10 months. They know that students are going to be biting at the chance to get out and back on campus, resume some kind of normalcy out of what we've just been through with the pandemic and what we're still going through, because it really isn't over yet. So they understand that. They know that we want to come back. They're preying on that. They prey on this idea that students are going to want to come back. So first of all, they've lost a lot of money already in residence halls and dining halls. All the money that they're not getting from that in the last year, they're gonna need to make up for. So let's talk about that terminology in the letter. Their goal is students to have a normal on-campus experience. What does that even look like now? What does that even look like now? In 2021, we've had the pandemic, we've had this virus here. I don't think there is really going back to the way it used to be. It was grimy. In-person classes are grimy. That just goes to show you how disconnected they are from the communities that they're saying that they're here for, that the UC system is in existence for. They're just so far detached and disconnected. They don't even understand how something like this could really affect the students who are on the ground, who are, experiencing the brunt of what is going on in the nation right now. And most of those students, mind you, don't even qualify for a stimulus. I don't think it's too far-fetched of an idea to assume that these people who contribute to the system that puts these students and these people at a disadvantage in everything wouldn't have them in mind when coming up with a decision to move back on campus. And when it comes to these groups of marginalized students, I want to make sure that we're safe. And for anyone that has applied to a UC school, I want you to think long and hard about the reasons why you want to attend a school part of this system. Think about the responses that these institutions have had to the pandemic. And I want you to see whose best interests do they have in mind truly. Truly, who are they thinking about? Are they thinking about the students, or are they thinking about their pockets? Because that's really what it comes down to. They're losing money, which is hard to believe because the last time I checked, I'm paying full tuition for online classes. I'm paying full price for a gym that I can't use. I pay full price for housing that cut staff budgeting out. So there's no one here to come to repair when hot water goes down. And there's no one that takes accountability for this. Take note. I want you to really notice the way different institutions have been approaching this. And that should heavily influence where you decide to go, and how you make your decision if you're getting ready to make that decision. And like I said before, this is just my experience. This is what I see. This is what I live and breathe. What it's like to be on the ground, doing the groundwork, doing the labor. That's me. You are entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to disagree. However you feel, sound off in the comments. If there's any updates, I will be here to cover it. So, peace.